Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw. It's the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found. And of course, taped live at Twitch, twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. I just realized, if you're watching this on YouTube, Big Dummy doesn't have that WWE title up there anymore. I got to change that to Bobby Lashley instead.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll get that fixed next week or something. So, of course, our Royal Rumble review is up right now. The reactions, our supercut of reactions is up at the new Friendo Club TV channel. And then later, actually, no, already, if you're not watching us live on Twitch, if you're listening to this in the audio realm, or if you're watching this on YouTube, guess what? Over at Friendo Club TV as well, the entire saga of me going to your house and picking up Big Red, the championship handoff, was documented on videotape, and that vlog, they call it a vlog. It's a video log.
Video log is what it stands for. Vlog.
It used to be there.
It used to be right here.
And now you got a potted plant there. And then,
well, the potted plant was always there, just the belt was in front of it.
Well, maybe center it because it's going to be there for a while. And then this is where it should be, right here.
Back home in a month.
So there's a video log of this, and that's going down at the Friendo Club TV channel. Go sub right now. It's the new thing.
If you want short form content from us, that's where it's going to go.
Do you just like the tomfoolery? Like back in the day, I showed Lacey the vlog today. She was like, "Oh man, this gives me Machinima vibes," and I'm like, "Don't say that because I feel like I'm going to get laid off now." But she meant in a good way.
We got to have a talk after we're done here, Steve.
Yeah. Oh shit. Oh no. Again. Oh no. Mr. Deltoid's firing us. Yes. Anyways, so yeah, the Rumble stuff is up at our various channels now. You can go check that out. This weekend, I think we're free. I don't think we're doing much of anything. The February Ultra Challenge, where we're doing predictions again. For the month of February, very exciting, begins on February 12th, I believe, with Impact's No Surrender.
No Surrender,
So we're probably going to be doing a live reaction to that because that's usually a lot of fun. We've got the 15th. We've got NXT's Vengeance Day. The 19th is Elimination Chamber with what looks like a green chamber. If the poster is to be believed.
Oh yeah.
And then also on that
Reyes
day,
the same day,
Reyes Reyes on the 19th, and then we're kicking things off with GCW's own Winter Wonder Slam. Winter is coldest, I think is what it's
coldest
saying.
winter.
Coldest winter.
But that's at the end of the month, right?
Yeah, that's at the end. That's like on the 25th.
Oh, right.
So like whatever's going on before then, that's wide open with those GCW shows. We saw how that played out last time.
We got two wide open shows this month with Reyes and GCW.
And Impact. No, there's a lot.
Yeah,
there's a lot of it's if the month began with an M, I'd have called it Manic, whatever that month is, February, Manic February.
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully next month will be equally as manic because it's Manic March.
Well, March will be Revolution. I don't think WB has a pay-per-view in March.
We got Revolution. We've got the anniversary show, New Japan, on like the
That's
1st,
right, and New Japan Cup, I think,
and
in
the
all
New
of March
Japan
as well.
Cup. So we got to figure all that out.
And then there's Impact will have a show. GCW will have a show.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So that should be fun. Anyways, let's dive into the news. Of course, we've got some follow-up here stuff from the Rumble, including what was allegedly the original Rumble winner. What's going on here?
So, yeah, Brock winning the men's Rumble last Saturday seemed pretty obvious to us. I know we talked for at least several weeks about that happening and maybe even being the plan, but apparently he wasn't originally intended to win. PW Insiders reporting, quote, the original plan for the men's Rumble winner was Riddle.
Bro.
PW Insider has learned. Plans were changed over the course of the week a ton of times, with the final decision to have Brock Lesnar enter and win as a surprise. At one point, there was a pitch for Randy Orton to win as well, but Riddle was the front runner until the switch to Brock was made. So obviously that didn't happen. Riddle didn't win the Rumble. Orton didn't win the Rumble. What's going to happen with them going forward? So WrestleVote reported today the following, quote, WB had planned since the pairing began last spring for Riddle versus Orton at SummerSlam, which didn't happen. Plan was to hold off till Mania. I'm told now only a handful of creative members want to split them, with the idea that if the match happens, it should be for the WWE title. There's probably not a more over act in WWE than RK Bro.
True.
And it seems like there's more story to tell. So in this sense, yes, Riddle winning would have been more exciting, or heck, Orton winning would have been more exciting than Brock winning because it felt so predictable. Yeah. I feel like the setup, though, of Riddle winning the Rumble. Let me back up a little bit. I feel like if Riddle wins Money in the Bank, there's a better story to be told with him and Orton. You can have the story of Orton coaching up Riddle to cash in at the most opportune time, maybe nudging Riddle a little bit towards the heelish side of things, only for when Riddle wins it, bang, that's when Orton turns on him and wants that title shot.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's maybe more there to work with. Maybe that's one reason they waited, potentially.
This is one of those stories that I'm like, look, it would not shock me if there were many pitches for various people, and maybe at one point they were seriously considering Riddle, but Brock was the obvious choice for the longest time and kind of the only one that makes a sense. I know Lashley now has the WWE title. I get that. And so that is sort of wide open. I thought that like Orton would have made a lot of sense. And I guess because he made a lot of sense, Riddle would make a lot of sense. But
yeah, I mean, even back as far back as last fall, we were thinking, well, maybe Riddle wins the Rumble. But I would thought that would have happened if Orton walked into Mania as champion.
Yeah, right.
And
yeah.
then you can have the feud then.
Yeah.
Brock did seem like the most logical pick to win the Rumble. But then after the way his title match ended with Roman costing him the title, you already motivate that match. I mean, they spent weeks motivating that match storyline wise. You don't necessarily need Brock to win the Rumble to motivate a match against Roman at WrestleMania. Does it solidify it? Yeah. Is it necessary? Not really.
How far back have we been talking about Brock winning the Rumble though? Like,
a while. But we were always, but that was kind of tied into the idea that he was retaining against Lashley, because we thought, okay, if he beats Lashley, then how are they going to motivate that match? Well, then he has to win the Rumble.
Yeah, but you and I were both saying for the longest time, well, if Lashley does somehow beat him due to tribal chief interference, like kind of months ago, we talked about this.
Yeah, we said I wasn't expecting Roman to be directly involved in it.
No, neither did I, but I thought it was going to be Heyman or the Usos. Either way, it was like, this guy's going to get pissed. He's going to enter himself into the Rumble. We talked about this months ago. I don't know. I just feel like, and on top of that, he's always been the betting odds favorite, which I know the betting odds don't really tell you a whole lot. Actually, usually the betting odds have like the second or third person on the list.
Yeah, I'm just
saying, I don't know. This is one of those stories where I would love to know. It would be awesome if WWE would open up their, creative after things are done and say, hey, this is what we came to. This is how we approach that decision. Instead of getting it years later, maybe Pritchard will be, on his podcast talk about, well, we really liked Riddle. Thought he was an attraction and him and Randy were real good. But at the end of the day, Brock is an attraction. It'd be nice if they would open up their creative. This here, obviously. I don't know. It felt like Brock was just like, that's just the too obvious thing. And it was like, oh man, this dude's going to put himself in because they're going after big names right now, big deals. And Brock is that big thing. Like somebody mentioned in our Twitch chat earlier during our pre-show that Brock Roman is their story and everything else feels mid in their words.
Yeah.
And you and I might, disagree with a little bit of that. I think there's some other stories in WWE that are just fine.
I think RK Bro is one of the
I think that's good. I think Naomi Sonia, I thought played out at the Rumble really well too. I think there's some other good stories. But one thing that it does feel like they're doing, especially since they start, we're not really competing with AEW. We're flooding the market with more stars because we have the biggest names. We've got Brock. So why not have Brock win the Rumble? It made all the sense in the world. And I wonder if Riddle was like, how long Riddle was the plan? And was there any other plans like Riddle, like Orton maybe, or maybe Big E even? Like, were there other people? And that's just one of those things. We're never going to know, or maybe we'll know 5 years from now or whatever.
Or 5 or 10 years from now, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I would be surprised. It would just seem to me that this was always Brock. unless somebody came up with a better plan. And maybe at one point Riddle was a better plan, and then they just went back to, it's Brock. It just makes too much sense. That's my take, anyways. That's my.
It could be. I mean, the Riddle Orton storyline does have a lot of legs left, and like I said, I think Riddle winning Money in the Bank would actually help elevate that, enhance that story, as opposed to him winning the Rumble, because the Money in the Bank cash shit is open-ended,
Yeah.
So if you want to extend the story another 6 months, if there's good stuff there, you can do that. Whereas with him winning the Rumble and having to use that title shot at Mania, there's an endpoint to that you're kind of beholden to.
Well, it also it's the Money in the Bank idea is a great one, because it speaks to what Randy Orton's priorities are. His thing is, don't let any tomfoolery come between us and titles. Titles are the thing. So the title, and I agree with this with WrestleVotes here, that should be for the title. That's a great story, but that would actually be enhanced massively by the title, because why else would Randy Orton, who clearly loves Riddle in storyline and seemingly out of storyline too, why else would he turn on him unless there's a title involved?
Yeah, the belt has to be involved. It has to be the title. Sorry, the WWE title, Universal title, some sort of title has to be involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. It does make me wonder though, like even going back to day one and the changes that had to be made there with Brock winning the title, does that fit into this at all? Originally it was supposed to be like Seth, and that would lead to like Seth and Big E at WrestleMania. Like that was only a month. That was literally a month ago, 30 days ago. I wonder how much all that sort of evolved and changed over the past month.
Yeah, because I think Brock was supposed to beat Roman at day one and then walk into Mania with the title.
Yeah, in which case was Roman supposed to win? I don't know.
The Rumble, probably.
Yeah, I just don't know.
Let's take a quick break here to get a word from our sponsor, Raycon. So, Steve, it's a new year, but not everyone has made resolutions for 2022. I know I didn't. That doesn't mean we can't all shake things up, maybe try out a new workout routine or travel to someplace new. Whatever way you decide to make a change, there's no better way to do it than with a pair of Raycon wireless earbuds in your ears.
Yeah, whether you're going to a new gym or traveling to a new destination, Raycon wireless earbuds are the best way to bring audio with you. And their everyday earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever.
Yeah, they've got optimized gel tips for the perfect in-ear fit. Their earbuds fit so well, they don't budge at all, whether I'm running or doing burpees. These things aren't moving. See, Steve?
Yeah, look,
not moving at all.
Wow.
Not only will they stay in your ears, but Raycons also give you the audio quality you need at half the price of other premium audio brands.
Yeah, right now, Going In Raw listeners can get 15% off their Raycon order at buyraycon.com/raw. That's buyraycon.com/raw to save 15% on Raycons. Buyraycon.com/raw. And before we get back to the show, let's get a word from our sponsor, Factor. Larson?
Yeah.
As you said, it may be a new year, but I'm the same busy Steve. I got stuff to do for Going In Raw, stuff to do for WrestleJuice. Now we've got Friendo Club TV. I got streaming to do. Plus, I watch all that wrestling every single week. That doesn't leave much time for grocery shopping or cooking. But now I don't have to deal with meal planning or prep. I leave all that to Factor.
Yeah, Factor makes it easy to eat clean 24/7 with fresh, never frozen, pre-prepared meals that are ready to eat in 2 minutes. And Factor's chef-crafted meals are delivered directly to my door. So that means no grocery shopping, no meal prep, no cleanup, and no washing dishes. I cannot stand washing dishes.
Oh, it's horrible. Factor's got a team of registered dietitians and expert chefs who work together to create delicious meals with nutritious ingredients. Plus, Factor's got variety. With more than 27 meal options each week, you'll never get bored.
Factor offers vegan and veggie meals, cold-pressed juices, smoothies, energy bites, extra protein, and plant-based bars, and a lot more to keep you fueled and focused all day long. You get everything you ever wanted with Factor.
So head to go.factor75.com/raw120 and use code RAW120 to get $120 off. That's code RAW120 at go.factor75.com/raw120 for $120 off.
So we got some more details on the Rumble matches. And apparently the call to have Brock win the men's Rumble wasn't the only change made to the card, because PW Insider is reporting that, quote, one person involved with the show last night noted the men's Rumble match plans changed literally 20 times over the course of the day prior to and during the pay-per-view. The site also reports the women's Rumble also went multiple changes, and apparently the constant changes led to a drop in morale backstage, with one source telling PW Insider, quote, "We were all in a whirlwind. Just as you had your role and spots down, everything started over and over, and now most of us were back to square one. It changed again, and again. It wasn't an easy night even before we hit the ring." That would explain a lot when it comes to the men's Rumble, because they spent a bunch of TV time setting up stories that they didn't even touch on during the actual match.
How do they try to change their creative so much? It's like, all right, here we go. Let's see. Ray and Dom, we've been teasing that. Strike that. Okay. Why? Don't need it. Let's see here. Alpha Academy and RK Bro. Yeah, I don't need that. Like, why? Why are they making these changes? Like, you have the story. You literally all you have to go is look at your tapes. Just go look at your stuff, and you set those stories up, and then you make sure those people are in the ring at the same time, and then you have
the thing.
Everybody back away and just have them look at each other. Just have them look at each other. You don't even have Ray and Dom in the ring at the same time.
Ludicrous.
He wasn't there. He wasn't there.
No, I'm ludicrous, as in to describe the situation. It's ludicrous you don't have Ray and Dom in the ring.
Sorry, that was a bad joke.
It was.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I like the little Gable part where he tried to get people to, take on Amos. I thought that was clever. Mm-hmm. But by and large, like, it's not like Amos. Imagine if Amos was teasing in the weeks leading up to it, all the Rumble stuff. But instead they had him with like Reggie stuff, and then Amos wasn't even on the go home to Raw. Like, that was like the obvious
Reggie
thing.
Wasn't in the Rumble.
It's like, why didn't why didn't you have people start to formulate plans to take out Amos in the build?
This is what would have been cool. Of course, Gable was in the Rumble early, and Otis didn't come in until later in the 20s.
Mm-hmm.
So what if they do that bit where Gable tries to get Amos out, and the first time they try to execute his plan, it fails.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Next, Otis.
Yeah.
Well, Otis is number one guy. He could trust an Otis.
One guy.
They try again with Otis, and it works that time.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. The master's plan. I know, exactly. He's got to have his guy with him. Instead, like, I don't get how you have, like, it changed 20 times, and none of them, like, featured stories. Like, there were no stories there, really. I mean, the Knoxville stuff. I thought the Knoxville stuff was good. The Knoxville stuff was fine.
Drew coming back was a surprise, and he got to eliminate Corbin and Moss. But there was just so much stuff that was seemingly set up that was not even broached during the actual Rumble.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like I understand that this isn't easy to do, but that's your job. That's like their job. I remember when Seth had like it was like a Q&A at a Comic-Con or something like that. Said writing 5 hours of TV is really hard. Well, you guys do it for a living. So
yeah,
like, I know this stuff is not easy. I'll be honest with you, I thought the women's Rumble, besides the fact that there was no like sort of central moment where somebody was just going on a rampage throwing people out, because that's always fun. There was a lot of people holding, like, playing defense and trying to get shoved out. But otherwise, I thought, we didn't get like Naomi and Cameron in the middle of the ring, hugging and dancing and stuff. But like, she went to go check on Cameron, and they used Cameron to further the Sony stuff. I thought that was decent. I thought there was enough stuff in the women's Rumble. The women's Rumble was pretty decent.
Yeah, I thought even if it did undergo the level of changes the men's Rumble did, at least they recognized the stories, the central stories they wanted to tell and needed to tell during the Rumble, and still told them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
As opposed to the men's Rumble, where it seemed like maybe at one point they had those plans all laid out, and then someone, Vince, ripped all that up, rewrote it, ripped it all up again, rewrote it just over and over and over again.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. In the process of doing all that, maybe he was hyper focused on a handful of things and lost track of all the other stories they were maybe trying to tell.
Yeah. Well,
during Rumble. I don't know.
I mean, hey, he's going to be running things for the next 25 years. So, just
apparently
more of this sharp-sided, this sharp-brained writing to look forward to.
Maybe. Someone who may or may not be running WWE in the future, Shane McMahon. He showed back up at the Rumble. Hooray.
Oh, man, people love Shane.
Yeah, apparently. I don't know. So Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer, is reporting that he's not just here for the Rumble or just wasn't there for the Rumble. He's sticking around through WrestleMania at least. Dave reports that Shane will have a match at Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania 38, though Dave notes that Shane's role at WrestleMania hasn't been decided upon quite yet, saying that Shane, quote, has a match on the books, but it was said to have not been finalized a few days ago, which is evidently why they did no angle with him at the Rumble. And then PW Insider adds that Shane, quote, will be appearing regularly on the Raw brand going forward, and he will be a heel.
Ooh, bad guy Shane. You know, bad guy Shane is the one who who gave us a baked potato face with Mrs. Dad. That was good stuff. Yeah. Oh, you know what's going to suck? Mania is going to be Edge versus Shane. You thought you were going to get Edge versus AJ Styles? You're wrong. We made it up. That's fiction. It happened in the Northeast somewhere. Yeah, that's happening, dude. Shane versus Edge. Maybe I'm hoping that I'm just saying it and it doesn't happen. I'm saying the worst case scenario and it doesn't.
So when
happen.
I first saw this, and I saw people on Twitter mention this too, that it'd be Shane versus Austin Theory.
Yeah. That makes too much sense.
I know.
Makes too much
Shane
sense.
versus Edge. Please no.
Yeah.
Please no.
Yeah. Austin Theory. That's a good match for Austin Theory. You got Vince in there. Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, but isn't Austin Theory a bad guy?
Kind of.
I mean, it doesn't really matter at that point, but Shane would have to be a good guy for that really to work best.
Probably.
Well, maybe the fact that it's not finalized, they'll listen to us. They'll flip on whatever this show, Going In Raw, I guess it's called, and they'll be like,
yeah, that's what it's called.
Hey, let's do that instead. People love Shane. Why are you going to make him a bad guy?
I don't know if people really love Shane. I think people get excited when his music plays and he comes back, and then he here's the problem with Shane. Shane's creative far too often. It takes up the whole show. You've seen this several times.
Yeah.
Especially the Kevin Owens feud. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That story just sucked up all the energy of SmackDown was on. When he and AJ were feuding. Yeah, the Mania match was all right, but that story just kind of sucked all the energy out of the show. Just
what they could do? What if Vince looks at Austin Theory is like, you need to be like, this is his way of, he's sort of a bad guy now. Make him a good guy by having Shane, he's like, hey, I don't like that, Vince is taking you under his wing the way he never took me under the wing, and he like lays out Austin Theory. So you get like bad Shane and Vince, which is easy to boo, against Austin Theory, who's a good guy. And you really, have Vince put him through the ringer, I guess, as it were. That could work. That could work.
Yeah, that could work. That could work.
And we'll get, it's easy. We'll get like at least an hour of that content every week on Raw. Like a solid hour of it.
Sucking the entire energy out of the whole
taken
show.
from everybody else who just sits in catering. Apollo Crews, nothing but talent sitting in catering. It wasn't even at the Rumble. Finn Balor. I don't even know what brand he's on these days.
He's on Raw.
Yeah, he's on Raw. There you go. Not
because
not
he jobbed
anymore.
out the Theory a couple weeks ago.
Not anymore because Shane's there.
That's true.
Sorry,
That's true.
You thought Finn Balor was on Raw? You're wrong.
You're wrong. Speaking of Raw, we got a Raw tonight. Got three segments announced.
Nice.
First, Bobby Lashley to usher in Almighty Era once again on Raw, and they announced today that he'll be defending the WWE title at Elimination Chamber inside the Elimination Chamber.
Ooh, is it going to be green?
I mean, if it wasn't the poster, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, it was like, I think it was more of like a graphic. It looked like, because you know how like the Saudi shows are all green and gold themed.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it was just for the poster. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Brock Lesnar to choose his WrestleMania opponent. It's gonna be Roman. I don't know when they have to go through all the pageantry of all this. It'd be more impactful if Brock Lesnar just tweeted it out, because he never tweets. He has a Twitter account, never uses it.
How many people are following him?
I don't know.
Let's find out.
And then Ronda Rousey returns to Monday Night Raw. They're really trying to get these ratings up for Raw, aren't they?
Gee whiz, 1.4 million. You think they're going to do Rousey? No, they're not going to do. I was going to say, you're going to do Rousey versus Becky Lynch at Saudi Arabia? That's a big-ass match for Saudi Arabia.
That would be.
That's a WrestleMania or better match. And then Ronda versus Charlotte. He hasn't tweeted. He just does a lot. He was retweeting a lot back in February of 2020. And then he very quickly apparently got tired of that and decided he's going to go away. It's all just retweets, though. That I don't know if he's literally ever tweeted anything himself.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If he actually tweets out, I'm coming for you, Roman, on Twitter, that's huge because he never
puts up a picture. It says Brock Lesnar is coming to SmackDown.
Yeah, coming to SmackDown.
But it's just a picture of Veer. You think Veer is going to show up tonight? That I think that would probably, a lot of the bad will that they've had with fans because of Royal Rumble, turn that around because Veer comes on Raw.
Remains to be seen. Remains to be seen. One could hope. One could hope.
Alex C wants to know, what are Brock Lesnar's likes? Should I dive into this?
I guess you can.
This is actually kind of sweet. There is a single like on Brock Lesnar's Twitter account, and it is a Paul Heyman tweet from July of 2019, and it's just a picture of them together.
Oh,
that's nice.
That is nice.
He likes Paul.
He does.
Anyways.
Blake Elizondo says, did wrestlers that won the Rumble match need to win, or could these stories work fine without it? Would it be better for someone else to win? I don't know about better or worse for someone else to win. You could have motivated both the Roman versus Brock and Charlotte versus Ronda without having Brock or Ronda win the respective Rumbles.
I think Randy winning, because like you said, he was in his hometown. That would have been great, because the idea of Randy then facing off with Bobby Lashley over the next couple months, you have Riddle in there. So number one, you've got the Riddle versus Lashley, proxy match, which would be terrific because of all how good they are in the ring. And then just the intrigue of, well, obviously Riddle's going to be back in his guy, but what if Orton wins? Money in the Bank rolls around.
And what does it mean? Like if Orton has the WWE title, will he really care about the tag titles anymore?
Right. Yeah,
there's a lot to do there.
That could be good stuff.
A lot. Lord Ziffer, what do you guys see Balor doing at Mania this year? Personally, I would like to see a U.S. title program with either Priest or Owens, maybe even a triple threat with all three.
Who did he say?
Prince Devitt.
I don't know who that is. Yeah, I don't know. You know what he's gonna be? He's gonna be doing. What would I like to see him do? Like everything cool, like awesome stuff. I'd like. You know what I'd like to see him? I'd like to see him challenge Ilya for the UK title.
That would be
at
great.
WrestleMania. That's the best thing I could think of. What's the best thing you could think of?
I can't top that because that'd be fantastic.
Or like a Gunther match.
Yeah, finally get that.
That could be cool too. What is he going to do? There's a little thing called the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Exactly. I was just going to mention that. That's probably where he's going to be.
Yep.
Blake also has another question. Seeing as the Roman Brock story absorbed 3 matches at the Rumble, book how every match at Mania could be about Roman versus Brock.
Naomi versus Sable. Usos versus Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas.
All right, yeah.
He comes back. He's wrestling again.
I know. Man, 2 nights, that's like at least 8 matches.
A debate between Paul Heyman and he's both their managers.
You have MVP wrestle
Rikishi,
someone who has Heyman's proxy, and it's like an ECW original.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Comes in.
Yeah.
Like you get RVD and take on MVP or something.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Well done. Well done, everybody.
Oh, wow. Greg Morris says, so the Radicals appeared on Raw 22 years ago today, named 4 wrestlers who'd be the new Radicals in WWE, I guess from AEW. Who are 4 people that could conceively
when you said
leave
Radicals, hey, by the way, congratulations to Daniel Garcia. Won Bola.
Yeah, winning Bola.
Did you see some of the clips from Bola? The one, the Blake Christian one, where that dude jumps off.
Jack Cartwheel.
Oh, was that Cartwheel? Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh,
that was crazy.
Yeah, that was
Leo.
nuts.
Apparently, Leo got hurt during the show last night. Hopefully, he's all right.
Oh shit, I didn't hear that.
They had to take him to the ER. I don't think he's posted an exact update to saying that he's not fine right now, but he will be. So hopefully,
that's what that was. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. God dang. Yeah, what were we talking about?
Radicals. New Radicals showing up at WB from AEW, not the band New Radicals.
Okay. I would say Jungle Boy.
Mm-hmm.
I would go with because like you don't want like names that are too big. It's like Jungle Boy.
Hobbs.
Oh, great. Hobbs, Cage, and Archer.
Mm-hmm.
Archer's in a world title match right there, but Benoit was literally world champion when he left. So
yeah,
that was hilarious. Yeah. Poor Sid. He had to do the job to Benoit, and then Benoit was like, "Yeah, that's not enough. I'm out of here."
It's like I'm out of here. Shane's birthday tweet is the Rumble Del Rio one considered a bad one because of how he was booked, and the story after it is because of what he became as a person outside the ring, make it feel awkward and uncomfortable.
That was the most underwhelming guy to win it. I remember
it was the largest one up to date. It was a 40 man battle royal.
Yeah, yeah, and it was like, what? Really? Him? Okay, here we go. Leo Rush does have an update, and thanks to somebody here in chat for telling us. Long story short, it's a dislocated shoulder. He says MRI in 2 to 3 weeks to hopefully find that there's no severe ligament damage / tear. And then he goes on to express his appreciation for PWG, everybody there, and obviously his disappointment that he has to wait to figure out what's going on.
Okay. So, well, happy is nothing. It's not anything more serious than that.
Oh, this is sad. He says, saddened by the hate speech, racial slurs, and throwing of objects in the ring by the quote-unquote fans who attended night 2 of Bola. What the fuck, man? I'm so tired of people. Mm-hmm. Like, just be cool, man.
Just be cool.
That's so lame.
I don't get it.
That's so lame.
Nikyle asks, name the wrestlers you would like to see in both the men's and women's elimination chamber matches. For each match, choose 3 from Raw, 3 from SmackDown.
What makes the most sense for Elimination Chamber?
Well, if Lashley's defending the WWE title, have Seth, have Lashley, have Seth, and Kevin Owens. I know Nikyle says 3 from Raw, 3 from SmackDown, but if the WWE title being defended, I'm thinking you got to have at least most, if not all of them from Raw.
Yeah, for sure.
So you have Lashley, you have Seth, you have Owens,
Riddle and Orton, maybe.
AJ.
Oh yeah, AJ and Finn Balor.
Riddle. You have Riddle and Orton in there.
Finn Balor.
That's 6. Finn is not getting anywhere close to that match. For the women's, maybe they can do a number 1 contender match for the Raw Women's title.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they want to have both chamber matches be Raw branded, though.
Have Bianca eliminate everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's the story. If you have Bianca in it and she wins.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Yeah.
Because that's the situation where Becky can't cost her the match. It's inside the cage unless Becky's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Odds are Becky can't keep Bianca from winning it.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes me wonder what Ronda's going to do tonight on Raw. She's probably going to speak awkwardly.
White Brownie, do you guys think both men's and women's Rumble matches show WWE how shallow their roster has got?
No.
You know, it's not. I don't know if it's so much in terms of shallow rosters. More so, it's how poor of a job they've done in terms of telling interesting stories and building up people as contenders. Because apart from AJ and Drew, and so of the 30 men in the men's Rumble,
mm-hmm.
maybe 5 you could see winning it based on name value, but based on the amount of energy they told telling stories, it was really just Brock.
Yeah,
it was really, that's why it seemed so inevitable, because that's the story they were investing so much time in. Like they basically had zero story involving AJ in the Rumble.
Yeah, I know.
Big E in the Rumble.
Well,
RK Bro in the Rumble.
All you got to do is just look side by side, the men's and the women's. The women's was difficult to call. I mean, once we found out that Ronda was going to be it, it was like, okay, it's probably Ronda's to lose.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
reasonably, Charlotte could have won it. Naomi could have won it. Bianca obviously could have won it. Probably
could have made the case for Lita to win it too.
Lita could have won it. Absolutely.
Her and Charlotte had that segment on SmackDown.
That was absolutely a possibility. And then Ronda's like 5 people at least. Sasha, of course. Sasha came back.
Could have made the case for her to win.
Yeah, that's 6 people. That's how it really should be. That's really how it should be when it's like, whoa, who's going to get this thing done? Over on the men's side, they didn't tell any story. Nobody. Everybody declared, and they had like a little bit of cutesy stuff in the mid card with Ray and the Prophets and Dom and all them. But like nobody talked about going to the Rumble. They talked about it once, and then that was it. Sami Zayn was like obsessed with Johnny Knoxville not winning the Rumble. Bailey's another name that she could have, people were expecting, maybe she'll come back early.
Yeah.
Once Drew showed up, if you knew that Drew was going to be ready for the Rumble, then it's like, okay, that's a distinct possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they didn't even tease anybody else.
Nope.
It was weird.
It was. Anthony Tobias says the Briscoes are going to the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. I believe they're the first names announced. Who else should go in? You should have the Briscoes. You should have Samoa Joe. You should have Phil. You should have CM Punk. And probably Bryan Danielson.
What Hall of Fame is this?
The Ring of Honor one.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I think they're the first class going to have 4 inductees. Is that right? Is it 4 or 6? I don't recall exactly.
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
Some other names here in chat. Jay Lethal. I thought about Jay Lethal. Homicide. Nigel. AJ.
That's a good one.
Loki.
Yeah, Loki. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd be interested. I'm not surprised the Briscoes are going in the first class, given how often they were tag champs and Jay winning the world title at one time.
Yeah.
So
Dominic asks, so it's definite that Brock is going to face Roman at Mania. So for Bobby's opponent, do you think Big E will survive the Elimination Chamber and face him? Well, Big E's on SmackDown now, at least according to the last time we saw him.
Yeah, I think the situation now is they probably moved him over there. So post Mania, Roman has 2 potential challengers in Drew and Big E. Going through the summer.
So who do you think the Bobby match is? I mean, I said Edge on our Royal Rumble recap, although now he's clearly going to face Shane. So
maybe Seth.
Seth makes a lot of sense.
Seth or AJ.
Seth makes sense. AJ makes sense. God, there's not a big Edge is sort of the biggest. I don't know who's a bigger star, Edge or Seth. Not who do you like more? Because I mean,
historically speaking, it's Edge. I don't think that's
right.
I don't think that's questionable.
That's sort of like the biggest name that him and like Orton are the sort of the biggest names they have. Yeah, that makes sense.
Kind of answered that already.
Yeah, we sort of okay. The NJWP one about Shane.
Yeah.
Oh wow, the Wild Dude says, "Who would be your pick for the best, aka worst, Final Four in an NXT Royal Rumble?" Hey, I got great news. Tonight's WrestleCoin at MF Steve here on Twitch. It's going to start off with a Rumble.
Oh,
very exciting.
Who's in it?
I don't even know, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
People who didn't make the rest of the card. And a bunch of surprise entrants. We're going to get a bunch of bootleg wrestlers, man. That's what we do. There's going to be a guy who kind of looks like The Rock.
Harvest says, my friend wanted to watch the Rumble because he heard Knoxville was in it. He is not a wrestling fan at all. He was confused why there were 3, and this is Harvest terms he's using, strippers in the match, referring to Madcap Moss, Corbett, and Boogs. What's the cringe moment you had to explain to a non-wrestling fan?
Buddy.
Oh, man, they were legion.
I can't even begin. I mean, with Raw, it's almost weekly.
Mm-hmm.
It's, SmackDown is every Happy Corbin segment. Terrible.
Yeah.
Ms.
I mean,
TV,
now I'm in a situation where
terrible.
I watch my wrestling in here at my desk in my bedroom.
Yeah.
So very rarely does anybody else from the family come in while I'm watching.
Yeah, man.
So I don't have to explain bad segments.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's been times where my wife watched something and was like, "What the heck is this?"
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I know. It's like at a certain point, I'm like, I've been doing this for how long, and you still ask me? Look, there's so much bullshit in this. You know it. I know it. I don't need to explain it to you. Don't have to shame me, Lacey. It's crap. I know. I get it. Yeah. That's funny. He called them strippers. Yeah, with Madcap and Boogs, I just think Vince thinks they look funny. It's like making a funny creation in customs.
They make Vince laugh, and that's all there is to it.
I'm trying to remember. There was, oh man, I might have been watching Bailey, This Is Your Life, in the living room. Yeah, it's so horribly, it's just soul crushing. You know, like somebody walks in and like, what is this? I'm like, I
can't explain it. It just is what it is.
It's like, what's the most shameful profession you can think of, and that's what you're doing in that moment. It's like, yeah, give hand jobs in a back alley somewhere. That's what I'm doing right now. Oof. Watching Alexa Bliss, This Is Your Life. I'd rather be doing that in a back alley somewhere.
Oof. Oof.
Oh, Lordy B.
Blue here asks, why does WB insist on having big moments with people like Ronda Rousey and Bad Bunny? At least Ronda can wrestle, but Bad Bunny was in the final 6. That spot should have gone to Moose or at least Finn, but there weren't any surprises in the men's rumble. The women's was better.
Moose,
because Ronda Rousey and Bad Bunny are mainstream household names. Moose. And Bad Bunny is one of the top 3 best celebrity wrestlers I've seen.
He puts in the work. Yeah, man. Put some respect on Bad Bunny. I thought Bad Bunny was a highlight of the men's rumble. That was awesome. He stepped up to Brock. We were begging him. That was one of the moments we really came alive. We're like, dude, don't. Come on, don't do it.
No, just step over the top rope.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
And he did it. He got F5'd, and then Brock.
I mean, that's why WB does anything with names outside the company to try to get mainstream eyes on it. Mm-hmm. So to try to draw more viewers.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. If you can get a guy like Bad Bunny, who is like super popular outside of wrestling, and a guy who legitimately loves WWE and wrestling. Yeah. Oh man, are you kidding me? Yeah, get that guy. J Boss Butler says, since Big E is back on SmackDown and Xavier Woods is injured, would this be a good time to turn King Woods heel upon his return? It's just feel unnatural. Be so unnatural. I don't want to see it. I want to see it. I don't like it. I don't want to see it. Nobody would like it because he's such a nice guy. And I don't even know if I believe him as a bad guy. I believe him when he gets intense and he wrestles like a badass, but not when he's not.
I don't know if there's a believable way for the New Day to split, for people to buy into it. Because they've been so vocal about not wanting to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if people would boo it.
If anybody were to do it, no. I mean, Big E maybe. Because like you might, but even then, like, what do you do the next week? He's just a bad guy. Nobody wants to see that shit.
Nope. Yeah. Now, if you want them all to turn heel as a faction, that'd be great. They talked about wanting to do that recently too.
Yeah. I mean, the most I'd want to get is like, Big E, if he's going after the title again, they're like, okay, but here's the deal. You got to face the New Day first. You got to or they, somebody, they do like an Authority versus the New Day thing. And like the Authority says, all right, one of you guys can get a title shot, but you're going to have to fight each other for it. Do a New Day triple threat. That was one of the things we did, that we booked that for the Parts Fun Now. Mm-hmm. And I believe we won that too. Anyways, I think we did. That's going to do it for the show. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. And tonight, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, over at twitch.tv/MFSteve here. My very first pay-per-view for NX Steve, WrestleCoin. It's the ultimate pump and dump. Oh, this is going to be a mess. I have not worked on it at all yet.
Wow.
Yeah, this is going to be a clusterfuck.
Should be great.
Oh, it should be amazing. Anyways, thanks everybody.
I'll try to pop in, see if I can watch a little bit. What time does it start? 7?
7 p.m. Pacific, yeah.
How long does it go?
Oh, and this is going to be channel points betting and everything.
Yeah, how long does it go though? Till 9?
Fuck if I know. Probably 9.
Till
I
it
would
ends.
Imagine, yeah, till it ends.
All right, yeah.
We have a hard
I'll see if I
out
can
at
pop
3
it.
hours, but we're probably going to try to. Like, we're unlike most wrestling companies. We're not going to like push the limits of our hard out. We try to get in well before then. Yeah, and then demand a refund.
I suppose that's the strategy.
We only spent 2 hours. Give us credit for that hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.